Today, employees from a tri-state company are giving back globally.
Yeah, Fox 19's Kelly Rippon is live at the St. Joseph home where volunteers are working on a project this morning, right? Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Dan. More than 60 volunteers will be here this morning at the St. Joseph home. It's a little chilly out there, but a beautiful morning to do some volunteer work. We're joined with Amy, who is with the St. Joseph home. Now, tell me a little bit about this event and kind of how it all got started.
This morning we'll have a lot of volunteers here from LyondellBasell. They came out last year and helped us with several projects around the home, and we're blessed that they came back again this year. We're going to be doing a lot of gardening projects. We're going to be working in an area of the home we've not been in for several years, painting that, getting it ready for some office spaces, and then also creating an overnight room for our parents and visitors here at St. Joseph Home.
I was going to say, explain to everyone a little bit about what St. Joseph Home is for those that don't know.
St. Joseph Home is the home to 48 individuals who have severe and profound disabilities. They live here at St. Joseph Home. This is their home, and we also have over 65 respite visitors who live in their families' homes, but they come and visit us on an occasional basis. We provide them a loving, safe place to live, and we're lucky enough that they come into our home, or we can come into their home every day and share their home with them and help take care of them.
I guess, can you talk about how important volunteers and events like this are for the St. Joseph home when sometimes funding can be, difficult to come by?
Funding is a difficult thing for us, and we are so fortunate that St. Joseph Home is loved around the community. Volunteers come in on a continual basis and help us with projects around the home. Also, they come in and spend time with our residents and give them the love and companionship that they need. We're finding that with state changes, our funding is going to change quite a bit, so our volunteers and donors are going to become even more important to us as we move on.
Exactly. Now, this is again part of a global effort. More than 60 communities are taking part. LyondellBasell is taking part in 60 communities for volunteer efforts in more than 20 countries. So this is very much a global event, and we're excited to have one of those events right here in Cincinnati. We're live in Sharonville. Kelly Rippon, Fox 19, Balance News.
Really great to see. All right.
Thanks so much, Katie. One company right here in the Tri-State is finding a way to make a difference worldwide, and that company is participating in Global Care Day.
Yeah, Fox 19's Kelly Rippon is live in Sharonville this morning with the very latest, and she's hanging out with a lot of volunteers out there. Good morning.
Good morning. They just had their first initial meeting, and now they have sort of dispersed around the St. Joseph Home campus, we'll call it, to get ready and find out what they're going to be doing as they volunteer here this morning. The company is LyondellBasell. They have a factory here based in Cincinnati, and they have more than 60 volunteers between staff and their staff's family members that are here to volunteer at the St. Joseph Home and work on the grounds, do a little bit of cleanup, and restaurate some of the buildings. So we're going to talk to actually some of the people with St. Joseph Home. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do here and how you interact with some of the people that live here.
My name is Jamie. I'm a DCS supervisor, and basically I help oversee the care that the individuals are giving on a day-to-day basis.
Now, this is Cheyenne. Cheyenne just joined us here at the last minute. How important is it to have some of these volunteers come in and help you guys with some of the groundskeeping so that you guys don't have to do those things?
It's very, very important. We want to thank everybody from Lyondell for helping us. This is their second year back. It's undescribable. They did a lot of good work yesterday. They worked in the rain, and they really showed their dedication, and the residents enjoyed the outside play area that we have. Families are up there, and it's a beautiful thing to see, and our residents are so grateful for Lyondell for coming back this year again. Thank you.
Exactly. Lots of wonderful things that are be taking place here today. Again, we mentioned this is Global Care Day, so this is one of 67 events that are taking place across the world. Over 20 different countries are participating in this with LyondellBasell as the base company that has headed up this effort. We are live in Sharonville. Kelly Rippon, Fox 19, Balance News.
Those are some well-spoken women, Kelly.
Yeah, they are indeed.
All right, thanks so much. Volunteers are busy this morning doing their part for Global Care Day. More than 60 communities and 20 countries are a part of that worldwide effort.
Yeah, the St. Joseph Home in Sharonville is where we find the volunteers and Fox 19's Kelly Rippon this morning. She's there hanging out with them. How are you?
Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Dan. We are outside now. The volunteers are busy at work. You can see we've got some raking going on, some mulching. They're going to plant some flowers. This is actually the courtyard last year where they did their volunteer work. They painted some of these. If you can see the swing sets, they painted those. Those were starting to rust and turn ugly colors, but they've made this place beautiful last year. They're coming back in to revamp it this summer, or this spring rather, and they're also doing a lot of work in some of the other buildings. This is Mike. He's been a volunteer. He works for LyondellBasell. He's participated in a lot of these global care days. Why do you come out and do these things, Mike?
We see our impact in the community by doing this, and it just giving back to the community. We feel the appreciation coming back to us, and we can see and come back the year after and see how it's made this place a beautiful place.
Now, what are you working on out here this morning?
Mulching the beds here. We're not mulching till the end, but we're edging, we're trimming the bushes, we're going to mulch, and we're going to do whatever else they ask us to do.
Now, we were talking, he said he knows all about chemistry and physics and all sorts of things. Do you think you're a good mulcher out here this morning?
No, this is preparing me for at home when I get home to do that kind of work, because I am not ready to go home and do that kind of work. So this prepares me to do that.
Exactly, and that's what's awesome about what they're doing here this morning. This is a lot of the stuff, the maintenance work that needs done in everyone's home. You can see they're trimming bushes, they're cleaning up some of the debris that has gathered as the winter has gone on. This is the stuff that needs done in almost everyone's home every year, but when these volunteers come out and make it possible for the St. Joseph Home, their employees and their volunteers to stay and take care of some of the residents that live here. We're going to stay live here in Sharonville. Kelly Urban, Fox 19 Balance News.
I love that. That guy speaks for all of us. All the guys that have to go home and do some work. Thank you, Kelly. Global Care Day is happening today in 20 countries and 67 communities around the world, and Cincinnati St. Joseph Home is one site where volunteers are gathering this morning.
Yeah, and Fox 19's Kelly Rippon is live there in Sharonville with the details. And Kelly, that's where folks are volunteering, planting, and doing all sorts of various activities, right?
They are busy at work here. They're not messing around. You guys were mentioning how it's a little chillier today, but apparently last year it was pouring rain when they did this work last year. So they're taking the colder weather, but the sunny weather, and they are working hard. They wasted no time doing all of this. As you can see, they are busy raking, picking up leaves, debris, twigs, weeding, mulching, all sorts of wonderful things going on. Now, Michael is the CEO of the St. Joseph Home. We talked about how, them being out here volunteering helps save a little time and money for you guys to put towards other things. So how important is something like this to the St. Joseph Home?
Oh, it's huge. I can't even put a price tag on it. I mean, we serve 48 residents and about 70 respite guests here, and it's a very expensive proposition. Everybody here is medically involved, non-ambulatory. So to have a group come out like this and take as much time and energy, they not only bring labor, but they bring material, and they've been working on this for like 2 months, planning this. And what they're going to do today would have taken us 6 months to accomplish. So it's just priceless what they're doing.
Now, I've seen a couple of the residents out here interacting with them as well. Is it fun to have other people here for them to interact with throughout the day?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, they're typical like the rest of us. Just because they're disabled doesn't mean they don't enjoy people. Some of them like to flirt. Some of the guys like to, see the pretty ladies. And so, yeah, it's a big deal for them. And we have them going around giving water and seeing people. So it's great. It's just like having a big party.
Now, this courtyard where we're standing right now is the work that they did last year. You can see the swing sets are painted. There are these planters. And this year, what are they working on in that other room that we were over in before?
Well, we have a number of families that live at a distance. And that area, what they're doing is turning it into a situation where we'll be able to have an overnight suite, several of them, for families. So the families can come in, be here for free, and stay here and then visit with their loved one. In fact, we just took in a little 4-year-old, and his grandfather lives in Georgia. He can now come up and spend a week at a time at no cost in a very nice room. And Lyondell's making that possible. They're doing all the great work.
That is huge. That is a very big relief for these families. Again, this is LyondellBasell, a company that is worldwide. They are doing this stuff worldwide. Again, Dan mentioned 67 communities, around 20 countries. They are doing things like this all over the next few days, as we call this Global World Day. Of course, it's different time zones in other countries. So this is going on for several hours for the next few days and making quite a difference here in Cincinnati. Live in Sharonville, Kelly Rippon, Fox 19 Balance News.
Thanks, Kel. It is good to see people paying it forward.
Yeah.
Incidentally, how's it feel outside?
You know what? It's warming up. It's getting, the breeze is not bad. It gets a little chilly if you're out here for a while, but it really is a beautiful morning, especially if you're doing some yard work like these folks. They're out there and they're not getting overheated and they're getting a lot of work done.
Sounds good. Kelly Rippon live for us. Thank you.